The day the world changed forever. It was July 16th, 1945, and the desert of New Mexico was about to witness a moment that would change the course of human history. J. Robert Oppenheimer, the director of the Manhattan Project, stood at the edge of a vast, barren landscape, his eyes fixed on the device that would soon unleash unimaginable power. The device, codenamed Trinity, was the culmination of years of tireless work by Oppenheimer and his team of scientists. They had faced countless challenges, from a lack of resources to the risk of catastrophic failure, but their determination had never wavered. As Oppenheimer watched, a group of technicians made their way to the device, their footsteps echoing across the desert floor. The air was thick with tension, and the weight of responsibility hung heavy on Oppenheimer's shoulders. "Are you ready?" one of the technicians called out, his voice steady despite the nerves that must have been racing through his veins. "Yes," Oppenheimer replied, his voice firm. "Let's do it." The technician flipped a switch, and a countdown began. The air seemed to vibrate with anticipation as the numbers ticked down. 3, 2 dots, 1 dot, dot, dot. And then, in an instant, the world changed forever. A blinding flash of light illuminated the desert, followed by a roar that shook the very foundations of the earth. The ground trembled beneath Oppenheimer's feet as a massive mushroom cloud rose into the air, its peak disappearing into the clouds. Oppenheimer felt a shiver run down his spine as he gazed upon the destruction before him. He had known that this moment would come, but nothing could have prepared him for the sheer scale of the devastation. "I am become death, destroyer of worlds," he whispered, quoting the Bhagavad Gita, his voice barely audible over the roar of the blast. As the dust settled, Oppenheimer's thoughts turned to the consequences of what he had just witnessed. He knew that the world would never be the same, that the atomic bomb had unleashed a force that would be felt for generations to come. And yet, even as he grappled with the implications of what he had created, Oppenheimer felt a sense of pride and wonder. He had played a part in shaping the course of history, and he knew that his work would have a profound impact on the world. The days that followed the Trinity test were a blur of activity as Oppenheimer and his team worked tirelessly to refine the design of the atomic bomb. They knew that the war in the Pacific was far from over, and they were determined to see their creation put to use. But as the news of the Trinity test spread, a sense of unease began to creep over the world. People began to realize the true horror of what Oppenheimer and his team had created, and the implications of their work were far-reaching. The atomic bomb had changed the world forever, and Oppenheimer knew that he would never be able to look at the world in the same way again. He had unleashed a force that would be felt for generations to come, and he knew that he had played a part in shaping the course of history. The Trinity test was a moment that would be etched into history forever, a turning point in the development of the atomic bomb and a reminder of the devastating power of human ingenuity. Oppenheimer's creation had changed the world forever, and he knew that he would never be able to look at the world in the same way again. As the years went by, Oppenheimer's thoughts turned to the consequences of what he had created. He knew that the world would never be the same,